The game last week in Athens was something that I don't think many of us have ever seen before. I've been going to Georgia games since 1990, so that's 32 years, and I've never seen anything as loud or as unbelievable as that atmosphere. It was truly unprecedented, and that helped Georgia beat number one ranked Tennessee, and now the Bulldogs, as they should have been all along, are ranked number one. They're undefeated, they're the national champions, and I think it's time that we give some credit to quarterback Stetson Bennett. I was on a radio show earlier on Wednesday, and at the very end of the interview, the gentleman from Mississippi asked me about Stetson Bennett and said, just think of what the Bulldogs could be if they had a top flight quarterback. And I said, hold on. How can you not say that Stetson Bennett is not a top-notch quarterback or a top flight quarterback or however you want to describe him? No, yes, he was a three-star out of high school in Pierce County, and he was a walk-on who left to go to a JUCO and then came back and was a third stringer and then got the job, lost the job, got the job again, and then won a national championship. And I think it's time, even though he just turned 25 years old, that we give this young man some credit for orchestrating and really being the cheerleader at the very top of the list for the greatest run in Georgia history. Now, we can say that this is rivaling the early 1980s, 80, 81, 82, when Georgia had Herschel Walker. And, of course, they won a national championship in that first year of those 3 years. But we've got to give credit to the quarterback. Stetson Bennett is the main reason why this team is in the position it's in. And while this program is in the top, I think we're going to see a lot of very good quarterbacks. But Stetson could have a statue built in Athens for him if he continues this and if they win another championship. Think about this. If you take the Tennessee game from last week, the Oregon game from the first week of the season, and then you look at the biggest two games last year, the Alabama win, the national championship game on January the 10th, and then the Michigan game and the semifinal game. In those last four big games, Stetson Bennett has completed 70.5% of his passes, 1,162 passing yards, 9 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a quarterback rating of 184.20. And yes, I even had to look up what quarterback rating was. That's a good number if you don't know what it's about. It's a very good number. And if you take out the performance against Florida a couple of weeks ago, this year, his completion percentage would be second in the SEC at 70.5%, right behind Hendon Hooker at 71%. As a starter, by the way, Stetson Bennett is now 23-3 at UGA. So, yes, there was a time last year where I was like, why is Stetson Bennett back in the lineup? Shouldn't we have JT Daniels in there? And Daniels never got back in the lineup. And all this kid has done is go out there and won and played at a high level and led this team to an unbelievable run that could result in a second national championship. So when we're passing out all the accolades for the University of Georgia and their football team in Athens, let's start with the quarterback from Blackshear. Stetson Bennett has done the job.